Some detractors that will push back on me and say, the only thing that the mayor talks about is the hiring of black people. No, what I'm saying is when you hire our people, we always look out for everybody else. We are the most generous people on the planet. I don't know too many cultures that have play cousins. That's how generous we are. We just make somebody a family member, right? That's just how we are. And so business and economic neighborhood development, the deputy mayor is a black woman. Department of Planning and Development is a black woman. Infrastructure deputy mayor is a black woman. Chief Operations Officer is a black man. Budget director is a black woman. Senior advisor is a black man. And I'm laying that out because when you ask how do we ensure that our people get a chance to grow their business?
Imagine the outrage if a white Republican mayor said he only hires white people. But Brandon Johnson just said it proudly, and the media they don't say anything about it. Michelle, what are your thoughts to that?
Oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen, where would you rather live? So as he says his nonsense and use all of his, what I consider racist remarks, there's real racist remarks when you try to play that game that I'm only going to hire African Americans. We have that. We see this in Maryland, in several places. And the reality is people flee these areas eventually because the taxes are high. We know that crime is high. We know that the quality of life is low, and people flee. Look at Baltimore. Look at California cities in California. Find any epicenter where everybody in charge is an African American or a black descent. You go down the list and see how happy and satisfied people are with living there, as opposed to feeling stuck and wishing there was more, wishing there was better. It's just nonsense. And then think about the places you would like to live or would love to be, and look at who's maybe running those communities. And let's just be honest, this man is kicking back contracts to whoever. And I know this happening right here in my own county. Our commissioner was sued by a group. In fact, we have spent $2 million in our local taxes for her to defend herself because she was adamant that she was going to fire the Caucasian male. And it was all racially related. This is a black woman who's a commissioner. And yes, she lost her position, her ability to hire and fire because of what she did. And there was so much proof. So I don't play this game on either side. You're right, KJ. If the shoe was flipped, it was on the other side, we'd be outraged. But because he's black, we excuse it? No. And that is why you and I need to say it, call it out, because a lot of times people are afraid because the Democrat playbook of being called racist. And I'm telling you, no, he's wrong. Nobody wants to live there. He should not have been elected in that special election. He's got to go. And his people, the people who live in Chicago, are trying to do just that. His days are numbered, and he is a fool and a clown on a national stage.
Yeah, you're right, Michelle. As you said, Michelle, I mean, Chicago is drowning in crime, corruption, and chaos. And his solution is racial favoritism instead of hiring the most qualified people. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta, if you just look at his city alone, okay, if you go by what he said and you look at what is the fruit of what's occurring in his city, that would make you not want to hire another black person in your life. Yep. It's awful. It's awful what they're saying. It's awful what they're doing. And in a biblical worldview, leadership isn't about skin color. It's about righteousness, justice, and wisdom. And Mayor Johnson is failing at all three. Okay. So these people again, but this is what the left does. And it brings us back to the very top of our show, what Bishop Wooden was saying. They are playing on race. They're using race because for some reason, Black people still are harboring on slavery, and, many people still continue to, I guess play on that trauma of slavery, because here, even though slavery was worldwide, particularly in America, it is seen as being done by white people versus black people. And so they're using that racial narrative there to continue to push it along, when we know that, of course, America was not the only place where slavery occurred. It was actually more so between Arabs. So, but they don't want to teach that in school. It's not something that is pushed. It's not something that's talked about. And so they try to continue to push this Marxist sort of revisionist history, and they're playing on this race.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, and we can't continue to fall for it, though, folks, and particularly Christians. And we have said this time and time again on this show. Michelle, you have said it time and time again, that we are all brothers and sisters in Christ. And we, as brothers and sisters in Christ, we don't go through all that racial idolatry and stuff like that. We continue to unite under Christ, under shared values, shared morals, and that's how we build community and a country, honestly.
So I love that today my pastor was preaching, and he's a New Yorican, for those of you who understand. He's Puerto Rican from New York. So my New Yorican pastor was wonderful. And he was talking today about culture. And he was very plain. And he said, no matter what, we want to think, yes, we are Black, white, Hispanic, or whatever, from wherever you are, and culture is important. We love our culture, and that's what they were talking about, this play cousins thing. So he was playing to not just race, but he was playing to cultural norms within the Black community. Well, there are cultural norms within a Latino community in New York, which are different from the cultural norms of the Hispanic community in California, right? And it's okay. It's okay to have cultural differences. It's okay to embrace and love your culture, but we have to recognize, to your point, KJ, and to the very beginning video that we had, is Christianity cannot conform to your culture. It cannot conform to your culture. Culture needs to conform to Christianity. You need to show that whether you're Black, white, Puerto Rican, Chinese, it doesn't matter, that you are a Christian within your culture, and that is okay. We cannot continue or let any party or any person continue to force cultural or norms or depravity onto our biblical worldview, onto the Bible, onto our faith, onto Christianity. That is not how it works. It's the other way around. And thank you to my pastor for giving that message and showing, yes, we're going to get to heaven, and it is everyone. God created everyone. He created us all different, and it is beautiful, but we need to learn how to embrace, to listen, to learn, and stand firm as Christians within our culture.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I mean, you said it right there. I totally agree there. I mean, we can wrap the show on that, Michelle. I was reading today on the Bible app. The verse of the day is actually Romans 10:14. How then shall they call on him in whom they have not believed? And how shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard? And how shall they hear without a preacher? And so that's kind of what we're doing here, preaching truth in a culture drowning in deception. We've been talking about that throughout the show. And if people are going to wake up, they have to hear the truth. And if they're going to hear it, we have to speak it. And as we always say, boldly, relentlessly, without apology. And